We've got new blood.
Beasley going end line to end line with a ferocious slam.
We're younger, faster.
Dragic on the run behind the back. Oh, what a move.
We are all for orange.
Dudley, he's off to the races. Uncontested. Oh, Shannon Brown in thunderous fashion.
Suns Live starts now.
Suns Live is presented by Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort. Play in style. Suns Live is also brought to you in part by APS. Here are Tom Leander and Tom Chambers.
So the boys go overtime last night against Minnesota. They get the win, then they march right into the toughest place to win in the NBA, the AT&T Center in San Antonio, where the Spurs are 22-2 this season. Tough back-to-back.
Oh, my goodness. It's always tough playing in San Antonio, and last night they obviously expended a bunch of energy, but you know what? Some of the guys had fresher legs. I mean, some guys that normally don't play got a bunch of extra minutes, so it was a great win for the Suns, and you know, we had a superhero last night that we've been asking for a long time.
A superhero? How about that? We may even have a superhero later in the show. I don't want to even give you a clue, but a voice from the past.
Uh-oh.
Did that help?
Gorilla? Does he have a voice?
Oh. Is that who the star was last night?
No.
The superhero?
No,
All right,
no, the voice from the past.
Yeah, no, it's not the gorilla. He doesn't talk. That would be really, really difficult. He doesn't answer yes or no questions.
Okay?
I know. Opening tip, Wesley Johnson. I think that's the superhero you're talking about, right? Wow, did he shine against his former team, the Minnesota Timberwolves?
Well, he did everything that I had hoped he would do when he got an opportunity to play 35 minutes, and he got more minutes because he did that right there. He knocked down shots. He went to the basket. He assisted his teammates. He was very unselfish out there. Monster follow dunk. I mean, he really did everything on the basketball court. And, you know, it's tremendous that a guy can sit and watch and come out and play like that with this opportunity that he was given, the opportunity he was presented. And, you know, I mean, did everything. I mean, this guy is long and lean, and you know what, you like to see the fight that he had last night, the desire he had last night, and certainly the Suns would not have won that game without him. So hopefully he'll earn more minutes. And I was impressed, too, and we asked him after the game. 35 minutes when you haven't, well, he had like 35 minutes in the first 35 games, okay? I mean, was he winded? And he wasn't. This guy can run all day long.
He can, yeah. Played 35 of a 53-minute game. Goran Dragic, young legs still for Goran, 41 minutes. We'll see what they have left in the tank tonight in San Antonio. We go to our Suns' social studies, and our social media go-to guy, as always, is Tom Chambers. Jared, have we had anybody other than Jared Dudley for Suns social studies?
I think we did have.
He's trying to vie for the best tweeter, but our offense has been struggling. Got to figure this out, making too many of the same mistakes. But a win is a win. Let's build now. And Jared wasn't happy with his own personal performance, just 1 of 6 from the field. But he's a team guy, and he'll take the overtime win over the Wolves. We head to San Antonio now to join up with Steve Albert and EJ Eddie Johnson for the San Antonio Spurs guys. This is their first home game since February 2nd. Am I correct?
Yep.
That's 25 days ago.
You are correct, sir. Yeah, it's a long time. They were away for 9 games. They had a great rodeo road trip where they went 7-2. They've got 17 of their last 24 games at home where they've won 18 straight. They're 22-2 at home. Pretty good. Let's talk about Jermaine O'Neal. 34-year young in his 17th year. Wow, has he been impressive off the bench? He's got 3 double-doubles in his last 6 games, Eddie.
Well, I think, you know, health has a lot to do with him. I mean, obviously he's shown throughout his career that he can be very productive. That's not the surprise. I think the surprise is that, you know, this past offseason he went over to Europe. He got the procedure done, the same thing that Kobe Bryant did on his knee, and it's helped him. And I think he's really come back with a vengeance. He has not only been very good offensively, he's been good defensively as well.
How about P.J. Tucker and Manu Ginobili? Eddie, they have really gotten after each other, particularly in the last meeting. Do you see more of that tonight?
Yeah, well, nothing new to Manu Ginobili. I mean, he gets under the skin of everybody. How many guys in this league that he has just gotten mad? You know, P.J. is just another in the long line of them. And the one thing I'll tell P.J. Tucker is you can't defend this guy with your body. You cannot touch him. If you touch him, he will draw the attention of the official, and that's the tough challenge in guarding Manu Ginobili.
He knows how to get to the foul line, doesn't he? He's been to the line, yeah, 25 times in the 2 meetings, hitting on 18 free throws. Not too shabby. Let's get back to Tom and Tom. See you later.
Thanks, guys. And PJ harassing Ricky Rubio last night. Ricky only 2 of 12 from the field.
Did you find out if he got hurt? Because he
Ricky
looked
Rubio,
hurt.
yeah, he was dragging that knee,
Yes,
certainly in
was.
overtime.
I haven't seen an official release to see if he's going to miss games or whatever. Maybe it was just the PJ factor. He didn't want to go back out there anymore.
PJ-itis. Southwest player to watch from San Antonio. A little French twist here. Tony Parker, who sat out the game against the Suns on Sunday with a tricep injury. I'm told he's better. He's ready to go tonight, but the underrated all-star. That's an oxymoron, I think.
Well, you're absolutely right.
Did you call me a moron?
Yes, I did. You are sometimes. Not more, you know, occasionally. Now you've taken me off track here, okay?
Tony.
This guy, yeah, Tony, that's what we're talking about. This guy can play the game. I mean, he came in, he worked hard, beat him up mentally, physically, and now he is just consistent every single night. He makes the team go. He knocks down his outside shot now when he couldn't really do that before. It was all before about keeping him out of the paint. It still is critical, but now if you back off him, he's going to knock down the shot. He shoots a great percentage from the field with his jump shots as well. So this guy has become a complete leader for that group, and obviously is being discussed as maybe a MVP candidate this season. And
we will discuss that a little bit later. Definitely more assertive offensively. 8 times this year, Tony Parker has scored 30 points or more. That's rare in a Greg Popovich system. Well, it really is.
And for a guy who was just a guy that went to the basket. I mean, points in the paint. He leads the league some seasons because everything seems to be a layup out of him.
Done with one here on Suns Live. TC's going to be taking up croquet, learning about wickets, and his teacher, Goran Dragic.
I'm gonna Google wicket. I don't think you're using it correctly.
You don't need to. We already did for you next segment. Right, Goldie? Suns and Streets of New York with their Slam Dunk Special Pizza and Wings, $18.95. Streets of New York, welcome home. The Spurs are home finally, and Manu Ginobili in San Antonio, they've beaten the Suns 7 straight times in San Antonio. They have only 2 home losses all year, to the Knicks and the Clippers. And the last time Manu and the Spurs lost at home, November 19th. That's a long time ago. November 19th.
He wasn't playing then, was he? Wasn't he out?
He was in and out of the lineup. That was the game that they lost to the Clippers.
15 free throws last game. That can't happen. Even though he only made 2/3 of them.
Yeah. Remind PJ Tucker of that. I don't know if he's ready to back off. Okay.
But I did enjoy a couple of the fouls.
Yeah, a couple of them. All of them.
He had one of those cartoon nuts on his forehead, you know.
Big forehead, too, if you're Manu Ginobili. Listen to me talking.
It's a 7-head, actually.
Yeah. Definition of a wicket for Tom Chambers.
Yes, I want to see
There you go. A small window, often fitted with glass or a grating. So, also in the game of cricket, it's dismissing a batsman. So there's a couple different definitions, and there's the picture. You see the wicket with the ball going through it, Tom Chambers.
To drive the ball in croquet. This wicket thing, that is not the definition I need right there. That's fitted, glass, grating. There's no grating, there's no glass.
Gator
and
opening.
It's not a little opening. These are some large men with big openings.
Let's take this opening, go to San Antonio to catch up with EJ Eddie Johnson. Flying to San Antonio, what time did you get into the team hotel, EJ? How late?
2 o'clock. Didn't go to sleep till 4.
Oh, okay. 2 o'clock, 4.
I'm an animal, though.
What do you do for 2 hours?
I'm a beast.
All right. Let's talk about Goran Dragic. And
I couldn't go to sleep, Tom Leander.
Goran, it's become routine, Mr. Eddie Johnson, the guy who can't sleep at all. The routine wicket pass for Goran. Where did this come from?
You know what? Sometimes guys just fall into certain moves and certain events in the game. And I truly believe that he has just mastered the thought of throwing it through a guy's leg, because now we live in an age where guys are always kicking their leg out anyway to try to deflect the ball. And so his good vision is just pinpointed right between guys' legs and to his teammate as well. It's kind of funny, but I'm sure coaches are talking about it now. I'm sure when they're telling the big guys to come out to maybe, you know, pull a Eddie Johnson. You know, when you're knock-kneed and slew-foot at the same time, you can't spread your legs as much.
Well, Eddie, one of the biggest recipients for the long-legged wicket pass, Marcin Gortat, played a tremendous game against the Spurs last game. Tim Duncan not playing so well. Hopefully he'll be able to continue with that pattern against the Spurs.
Been playing well, and so I think it's a lot to do with Goran Dragic as well, getting him the basketball in good position. But we saw early in the year that Marcin Gortat can be a very good defender, and he can be a very good rebounder. I think it's all about putting it together, and I think lately he has done that. I think he is focused on trying to finish this season on a great note. I picked him as the player I thought that would really stand out the most after the All-Star break, and he's not disappointing right now, and I expect him to come out and have a good game tonight.
Well, Shannon Brown, I mean, he signed up for 2 years. You know, the Suns were excited to have him back. One guy you can give the basketball to create and to score and to dunk and excite and electrify the crowd. And he has not played at all. He's the odd man out when they're trying to find these younger guys. I'll tell you what, he seems, for me, he's been very professional about the whole deal, Eddie.
Well, you know, when you say that you're a professional basketball player, that's really what it means. Because at times you're going to be tested. And are you a true professional? And I think Shannon Brown has been tested, and he's passing the test. I mean, he is obviously not happy with the fact he's not playing. But from what I'm seeing, he's not really disrupting the boat either. And I think you have to be patient in this league. If you play in this league long enough, you're going to run through periods like this. Unfortunately for Shannon Brown, and I know he knew this when he came in the league, guys, he is a tweener. And when you're labeled and you're pigeonholed into a position or a certain size, sometimes you're going to fall into a rhythm where a coach is going to say, I'm going to go with somebody else. And right now it's that situation for him. But it could change, and I think he's ready for it.
It could change, but it feels like it was 3 years ago that he was in Charlotte knocking down 6 threes in the fourth quarter. Thanks to our insomniac, EJ Eddie Johnson. Enjoy the game tonight. From San Antonio, our Verizon Wireless text poll question coming at you. TP in the MVP chat, along with Kevin Durant, Chris Paul, and LeBron James. Who leads the pack so far? There are your choices. Text your answer to 95323. Normal messaging rates apply. We are closing in on TC's Voice from the Past. Plus, first Philly, now Phoenix. City of brotherly love for the Morrises.
It's time for Tweetin' with TC. Tweet Suns legend Tom Chambers all season long at twitter.com/SunsTV. If TC selects your tweet for the show, you'll have a chance to win a pair of Suns lower bowl seats every month this season. Plus, a shot at the grand prize, an autographed Suns ball, courtesy of Nova Home Loans.
Back here with TC, Markieff Morris, 14 points, 6 rebounds, 3 blocks last night, but he has fouled out of the last 2 games, and he is the focus of your one and only tweet tonight. The Twins.
I have no problem with him focusing. I mean, fouling out.
We'd like the focusing, maybe not so much. Yeah, no, the fouling out is cool. I mean, that means he's being aggressive. How has the addition of Marcus Morris elevated the game of his brother Keith?
Well, it has. I mean, he's excited. He's got a little extra spring in his step. These guys walk around like they're Siamese twins, not just, you know, identical or fraternal or whatever they are. They're attached at the hip. And, you know, he holds him accountable. He challenges him. You know, he tells him, you know, as Markieff says, he's a great coach, so he tells him what he needs to do against individual players and also for himself. Simple as, you know, following through on a shot, being aggressive. Don't you know, sit back and just live by the 3. I'll come out and do that for you, brother. I'll throw it inside to you. So this has been a great addition to this team, especially for Markieff in what he's doing out there on the court. And excited to see Marcus when he gets an opportunity to have more minutes out there on the floor. But obviously they know each other well, and it'll be interesting to see them when they both get extended minutes on the court together.
Your twins, Colton and Dakota, are they inseparable too?
You know, it's funny because they get tired of each other, but then when one's gone for 5 minutes, they're like, "Where's my brother?" You know, so yeah, they're completely different right now, even though they are identical. But they're used to being around each other.
Well, the other brother for Markieff, Marcus, played only 3 minutes last night, but he will get his shot this season for the Suns. Tweet away for your chance to win at Suns TV lower bowl tickets every month, plus a shot at the grand prize, a signed Suns basketball courtesy of Nova Home Loans. Now through March 20th. Receive one free Like It creation with one mix-in when you donate 2 new or gently used children's or young adults books at participating Valley Cold Stone locations. The voice, I am told, is on hold. A former player, coach, or maybe even a mascot from TC's past. Maybe a former teacher. He's getting too good at this. So we may have to mix it up.
Still makes me nervous.
Suns Live on Fox Sports Arizona is presented to you by Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort. Play in style. And by ADT. Visit ADT.com/sports for the home turf sweepstakes. Go behind the scenes of athletes' homes, enter to win an ADT system, and more. Oh, it's become our favorite segment this season, a voice from the past for TC. His guessing game, only yes or no questions allowed. We ask our voice to disguise his or maybe her voice. This is number 7. The coaches, we had Westy and Paul Silas, his teammates, Danny Vrains, Nate McMillan, KJ, and the last one was Jeff Hornacek. Do we have our voice on the line with us now? Are you there, voice?
Yes.
Get after it, TC.
Oh,
Good luck with this one.
This is killing me. Were you a former teammate of mine?
Yes.
In Phoenix?
Yes.
Oh, now we got to start.
It's a techno voice, too.
Were you on the half of the court with me in the big man drills?
Yes.
This might be the best voice. I know Westy Spanish on us.
Were you traded for Charles Barkley?
No.
No. Oh, there goes Tim Perry and Andrew Lang.
Okay, it's not Tim or Andrew. Okay, let's see. Who else was on that team? Let's see.
You thought you had it, too.
I did. I totally did. Now I'm lost.
Finally, the last few, it's only taken you 3 or 4 questions.
Were you on the team that went to the NBA Finals?
No.
No, I'm really lost.
Well, kind of. Right?
Kind of.
Kind of voice?
Kinda.
Kind of.
Kind of.
Yeah.
And then, now I'm really confused. I have no idea.
That was, that was the intent.
I have no idea.
Really?
I have no idea.
Well, you had the position.
Have the position.
Okay,
he was on the team
kind of
with
was
me.
on the team.
He kind of was on the team that went to the finals.
Mm-hmm. Well, not when they went to the finals.
Not
I'll
when
give you
they
that
went to
little
the
clue. He was there at the outset.
At the outset. He got traded, but it wasn't for Charles?
No, he wasn't actually traded either.
He wasn't?
It was worse than that.
It was worse than that? He was released?
It was worse than being traded.
He was released?
Right? Am I correct, voice?
With the hands.
What's with
the hint was that you were waived by the Suns 20 years ago when the team was heading toward the finals, but you didn't actually play on the team that was in the finals.
Who was waived?
You're killing me.
I have no idea. Who was waived? See, my history's not good. Okay.
First.
Ed Neely.
No, but you're kind of warm.
Oh. That hurts.
Kurt Rambis?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
I didn't even know they waived you. Did they waive Kurt?
Right? You played 5 games.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, they did.
I always had great thoughts in my mind of you. Getting waived wasn't one of them. Why did he cut you?
No, it wasn't Whitey. It was Paul Westfall at that time.
Oh, that's why you guys don't speak. I see. I was wondering about
Yeah,
that.
exactly. That's exactly right.
Oh, man, I'll tell you what. Kurt was one of my favorite teammates of all time. This guy here, he was in the training room more than anybody I've ever been with, and he took a big needle about every single game in those ankles. Wow. Wow. Tough guy.
Wow, we are looking at some bizarre footage of you guys, too.
Nice
Kurt's
hair.
got a big wig on, which just, if you want to continue this, TC, we've got the Rambo glasses, too.
I yeah.
Got to put those on. By the way, Kurt, happy birthday. His birthday was Monday. Now working as an ESPN analyst and working the Lakers shows as well.
Kurt, you look better in these glasses than me, actually.
He's got them on, Kurt.
Yeah, I got them on. Well, you know what? Your analysis has been good. It's been really good. Is it hard?
Well,
Is it hard disagreeing with what the Lakers do? Because I know you've been a Laker for, purple blood and stuff. Not Suns, but.
I've just found it's a lot easier just to be honest because the fans see what's going on out there, so it's just easier just to tell it like it is. And sometimes it hurts, and sometimes it's great. But the way the Lakers have been playing this year, most of the time it hurts.
Well, I'll tell you what, it absolutely does hurt the way they're playing. But, I mean, what a great teammate you were. I remember the Suns got ridiculed a little bit, giving away their number 2 pick in the first round for Kurt Rambis. But, boy, we got a lot better after we traded Armin Gilliam for Kurt Rambis. That was crazy. But, man, we had a lot of fun, Kurt.
Yeah, we did. We had a really good team. We had a lot of big players that could play inside out. Kevin Johnson running the point. Defensively, despite everything that you allowed out there on the floor, we did a pretty good job. So we, at both ends of the floor, I thought we were a really good team. I thought we really had a chance to win a championship that year that we ended up losing to Portland in the Western Conference Finals.
Kurt, I want to jump in. You coached, obviously, in Minnesota for a couple of seasons. You coached Wesley Johnson, who just had his best game as a Sun last night, along with Michael Beasley. Talk about coaching those two youngsters.
They were a joy to coach. They came to practice every day. They wanted to learn. They wanted to get better. They worked hard. They're both really good kids. Obviously, they have deficiencies in their games, and they have areas to improve upon, but they're both young. Wesley's got to continue to work on his consistency, and we worked with him a lot of putting the ball down on the floor rather than just being a straight-up spot-up shooter, because at some point in time, you've got to be able to handle the ball, and he was getting better at that. And Michael Beasley, he's just a great offensive asset. Obviously, he's got to work on his consistency as well, and as well as his defense. So we were trying to turn, in Minnesota, we were trying to turn Wesley into a very good defensive player because of his length and his foot speed and his ability to move his feet. We thought he'd be able to guard multiple positions. And that was something he was not used to in college, but with his length and jumping ability, he made some key plays that got us a couple of wins here and there.
Kurt, thank you so much. I know you have a busy schedule. We're going to hand things off to Steve Albert and EJ Eddie Johnson. Suns and Spurs coming your way.